Did you manage to lodge your census last night? It was not the straightforward process the government had planned, with 4 denial of service attacks disrupting the service, and at prime time 7:30 p.m, the server was shut down completely. Australian Bureau of Statistics representative David Kalish, in a statement this morning, reassured Australians that their data was secure. Panorama spoke to Dr. Robert Merkel, lecturer of software engineering at Monash University. He believes the attacks could have been prevented.
There are known ways to defend against a denial of service attack, and it's unclear whether the Australian Bureau of Statistics actually implemented those.
The attacks, while harmful in nature, did not affect the privacy of the 2 million successfully submitted forms.
By definition, a denial of service attack is an attempt to essentially render the site inaccessible rather than to try and access data that you're not supposed to get to from a site. So if it was genuinely just a denial of service attack, there is no specific risk to people's data from it.
Despite this, Professor Katina, Michel, board member of Australian Privacy Foundation, still feels justified in her concerns for privacy.
We support the notion of a census, and there's a delicate balance of why we gather this information for the sake of the country and service provisioning throughout in our schools, in our health areas, welfare and so forth. But what we don't want to see is our privacy being breached and our personal information being held accountable by third parties or even government agencies.
The Australian Privacy Foundation is calling for the data already collected to be deleted and the census restarted with no linking of names and better security.
People shouldn't be scared into, heinous fines over nothing. And we would just want that cleared up, that people are not held accountable on this occasion. We start again. There's been a debate about how our information is being used as citizens. We agree to a way forward, and we continue on with a proper census to take place.
Dr. Robert Merkel thinks the ABS needs to have more preparation for the next.
There are indications that the way their website was designed and configured made them more vulnerable than they should have been to this attack, and it's not clear that they tested sufficiently their defences against this kind of attack, because it was foreseeable that there was a risk of this kind of thing happening, even before the recent fuss about the privacy issues. So they essentially needed to be a lot better prepared for this kind of incident in future.
Professor Katina, Michel, has called for the census to be taken offline and a thorough investigation into the debacle.
But let's have an open, independent IT risk and privacy impact assessment done by a third party, and then let's go forward after the outcomes of those assessments are conducted.
The ABS has stated Australians will have well into September to complete the census, and fines will not be imposed for completing the census after census night. Census 2016 night may be over, but the ramifications from the first online census will continue to be heard for weeks to come.